It's Thursday, the 10th of March, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Morning, Michael.
All right, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's get into it. Story number 1, Sean. The Governor of the Reserve Bank, Phil Lowe, says the shocks to the global economy caused by COVID and the war in Ukraine could trigger higher inflation, and that means faster interest rate increases.
That's right. Dr. Lowe said the risks to inflation have certainly moved to the upside, but his central case scenario remains that inflation isn't out of control and won't reach the levels experienced in the US. Now, wages remain critical, as they have been for more than a year. He says wages growth is currently 2 point something and pay rises next year will be in the 2 to 3% range. He talked a bit about what economists call inflation expectations. It's a chicken and egg scenario. Workers think prices going up because it costs more to fill up their petrol tanks thanks to the war in Ukraine, and fruit and veggies cost a lot more because of the floods along the east coast. In reality, everything else is the same, but the consumer goes, ask for more money from their boss. They can because the labour market's so tight. Businesses then put up prices to make up for the cost of higher wages. It sort of becomes self-fulfilling. Dr. Lowe said it's now plausible that rates will rise this year, which is a fair shift from a few months back when 2024 was the preferred option.
Okay, story number 2, Sean. Rob Scott, who's the boss of Wesfarmers, which is the company that runs Officeworks and Bunnings and Kmart and Target, yesterday said that consumers are showing a greater sense of confidence and optimism. But at the same time, you've got a major survey being released that says confidence is declining.
Yeah, people are still shopping and low unemployment and high household savings rates are spurring confidence. People are worried about inflation, though, Mr. Scott said, and businesses are certainly facing wage pressure for staff, particularly in areas like IT and engineering. As he was talking, the Westpac Melbourne Institute Consumer Confidence Index came out. It turned negative for the first time since the start of COVID. I suppose it's not really surprising. I mean, COVID's less of a concern, but you've got the war in Ukraine, floods, inflation, the potential for higher interest rates. The upshot of all this, consumers are definitely turning gloomy, but so far, they haven't stopped shopping.
Okay, story number 3. The next big thing for corporations to worry about, apparently, is going to be cultural issues. That's things like sexual harassment in the workplace. This is the warning that's come out of the Australian Council of Superannuation Investors, Sean.
That's right, and that council represents all the big super funds, which are the big investors. The last couple of years, it's really been all about the environment and ESG, environment, social and governance issues. What the council is now saying is that investors are looking more at culture, and one of the big parts of culture is sexual harassment. The Rio Tinto Cultural Report, which came out a couple of months ago, highlighted problems in the miner around sexual harassment to sexism and racism. The council thinks it's great that Rio made it public. It also thinks that raised the bar in terms of discussion about the challenges in the mining industry and beyond. Essentially, companies could find themselves at a financial disadvantage if they don't take cultural issues more seriously.
Okay, story number 4, bit of a quick one, Sean, but more and more global companies are pulling out of Russia now.
It's getting really serious because in the past 24 hours, McDonald's, Starbucks, Coca-Cola and Pepsi have all suspended their Russian operations. In McDonald's case, the fast food group will close all 850 restaurants where it employs 62,000 people. You can really get the sense when you see these fast-moving consumer good companies pulling out of Russia, how much it must be hurting the economy and people who need a job.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually amazed at how many people McDonald's employs in Russia. That is a lot of people, 62,000 people.
And a lot of young people.
Yeah, that is really going to hurt the Russian people. Story number 5, Sean. Disney, which has obviously got an image as a family-friendly destination, is pushing into sports betting.
Yes, it jars just a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Its cable sports network subsidiary, ESPN, has been losing subscribers over recent years. It still spits out plenty of cash, but to turn around the growth trajectory, management at Disney wants to push into betting. Now, individual states in the US have been opening up to online gaming over the past 12 months, and Disney and ESPN want to take advantage of that. Disney chief executive, a guy called Bob Chapek, said the future of sports programming will extend to sports betting, gaming, and the metaverse. What would Walt Disney say?
I actually don't know. And I'm intrigued by the idea of Disney getting involved in the metaverse.
Yes.
Does that mean that you can go and pretend to be the Little Mermaid, for example?
Moana? Maybe.
Take your pick. Yep. Beauty and the Beast. I think we're just now listing our favourite Disney movies, Sean.
I think so. Move on.
Seems like a good place to wrap it up. That's it, the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Thursday, the 10th of March, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't quite enough, if you want a bit more detail, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, along with plenty of interviews and other things on your podcast platform. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.